Prince, he really had an affinity for your mom, right? Tell us a
He
little bit
really
about,
did.
Prince, loving your mom's music and so much.
The first time my mom met Prince, I was actually with her. Prince was opening for Rick James on the Fire It Up tour in 1980.
Right.
I Want to Be Your Lover was the big hit. And my mother and Rick were very good friends. And that particular tour, which was the Come and Get It tour, Love Gun tour,
Right. Yeah.
um, Rick invited my family, me, my mom, my aunt Jennifer, my mom's sister, who he was also friends with, because my aunt being former fiance of Jeffrey Bowen from Motown, and my grandmother, and invited us to kind of tag along for about 4 cities of the Fire It Up tour. And I think we went like to Toledo, Ohio. We might have gone to Cleveland, places that were close to Detroit. And we met Prince in Toledo, and him and Andre Simone, as a matter of fact, were together.
All right. Cool guy. Yeah.
And Prince was a P-Funk. He was a P-Funk fan, as most people know. Prince idolized Parliament-Funkadelic, and he
Right.
told my mom, that he specifically, had an affinity for Pleasure Principle because it was he told her that it was one of the first times that he had seen what he considered an interracial girl group.
Right.
Because even though my mother was mixed race, she looked Caucasian, she looked white, and just the whole sexual undertones of the art on the album and all of that kind of stuff,
He
it
was taking
excited.
mental notes all along.
Right. It
Yeah.
excited him, and
Right.
all the moaning in the songs like Cookie Jar, all the cooing and moaning and all
Right.
that, so he had an affinity for Parlet. And, anytime I could remember, anytime Prince would come to Detroit, he always rolled the red carpet out for my mom. All she had to do was call somebody and say, I want to come. And keep in mind that a lot of, when the first P-Funk Mothership era ended, Prince's was ascending. Prince hired a lot of P-Funk's old staff.
Okay. Yeah. Mean road
Billy
staff?
Sparks.
Oh,
Billy
yeah.
Sparks
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
worked for P-Funk. Greg Brooks was security for P-Funk. So he had brought in a lot of people that worked for Parliament-Funkadelic in their heyday. So it was, anytime my mom wanted to go to any show, it
That
was
was,
like, yeah, yeah, she wants to come, sure. But their relationship really blossomed when she moved to Minneapolis in '88, and George was signed to Paisley Park.
right.
And she was continuing to record with George on Paisley Park. And even though she had known Prince socially for probably about close to a decade, their relationship really formed once she started recording at Paisley Park, and they really got a chance to become friends and talk. And it's so funny because even today, I don't think 3 months goes by that somebody posts on my social media, on some post, your mother introduced me to Prince.
Wow. Okay.
So it's
That's
like,
good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, he really did have an affinity for her, and she really had a deep respect for him. And when he was doing Graffiti Bridge, he told
Yeah.
George, I want Mallia in the movie, even though
Right.
Mom is not on the song. That's Belita
Right.
Woods on the song,
Yeah.
but that's who he wanted.
Were you there for the filming of that one?
I wasn't,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I wasn't. She was living in Minneapolis. I was still living in Detroit. But I do have some cool, really cool pictures from the set. I have some call sheets from the
Okay.
set, things that she'd saved for me, um, mementos and all of that sort of stuff. I actually still have her costume from
Right.
Graffiti Bridge that she wore in the film.
Yeah, that was There was a lot of fast cuts. So I mean, I saw your mom and everything, but the other players on the stage, I'm not sure who was there
Yeah,
exactly.
and I told her, I said, hey, I mean, just that shows
Right.
you Prince's affinity for her, because really all
Yeah.
you saw was her and him, and
Right.
you saw her more than you saw him.
Yeah. Right. And they needed to turn it
So
up the music a little bit
yeah,
during that
yeah. So
scene.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was yeah, he really had a great admiration for her, and I think they probably would have ended up eventually recording something together. Just never
They
happened.
never did or it never
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Right.
No. She had done some stuff with Jam and Lewis
Okay.
and Brown Mark. She had done some stuff with Brown
Oh,
Mark.
yeah.
And Prince had always told her, well, when you're ready to do an album, I'll do some songs for you. But it just never did materialize.
Maybe some of the songs were in the notorious vault.
You know what I have
Yeah.
heard?
Uh-huh.
Because one of the things that Mom did a lot because of Prince was that she did many shows at Glam Slam
Oh,
in
okay.
Minneapolis. And many of the shows, if Prince was in town, he would always personally engineer her shows.
Yeah. So,
And from what I've heard, there are some straight from the board Mallia Franklin shows, Queen of Funk shows in the vault
and it's out
that
your way
Prince
now.
engineered.
They're preserving it. I think it's out in California now, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
removed it from Paisley Park. Um, let's also touch on something. I'm a big fan of Apollonia and yourself, the podcast, two
Thank
seasons
you.
in.
Yeah.
Everybody's hoping for the third season coming up. And how did that start exactly? You and Apollonia deciding let's get the Apollonia studio going.
Well, a couple of things happened in success. A couple of things happened that made it happen. Um, as me and Apollonia became really good friends, she had been approached about doing a couple of podcasts, probably more audio
Okay.
kind of situations. She was invited as a guest on the round Sunset Sound
Oh
Roundtable.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
And she asked me, she wanted me to come with her. And she actually wanted me to be a guest of hers talking about Mothership Connected that at the time didn't even have a book deal
Oh, okay. Yep.
because she believed in the project so much that she wanted me to have a certain section of her interview to talk about my book.
Right.
And out of that, there were some, suggestions. You guys should do a podcast. And I always thought, well, Apollonia can do the podcast. I'll direct it and I'll whatever. And she was like, no, I think we should do it together. And we had been approached and by a producer, and that kind of fell through. But it fell through at the last minute, meaning we had
Okay.
already kind of put it out there that there was going to
Oh,
be a
yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
and and then it
Yeah.
fell apart.
Right.
And I remember just going. I think we were at dinner somewhere one night, and I just said, "F it, we'll do it. We've already put it out here in the universe,
Right.
so we'll just do it." And I found a cameraman. She found the studio. We put together our own team, and we did it.
Yeah, I really like your set. It's well done as well. Uh,
Thank you.
the way you have it
Thank
all
you.
all set up,
Yeah.
and um, the reuniting of Apollonia 6 occurred on your show, and um, segueing, going up to see Denise Matthews' funeral. That was a huge thing, right? Going up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that was the first time me and Apollonia met.
Oh, it was
And that was
okay.
through Jill Jones.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. You
Yeah,
you
that was through
travel. It was
Jill.
San Jose, right?
Yeah, we went to San Jose. And what happened was when Denise passed away, I was friends with one of Denise's sisters on social media.
Okay.
So I had actually gotten the news before a lot of them did. So I kind of unfortunately, had the task of telling Jill that she had passed away. I think I told Sheila that Denise had passed away. And Me and Jill had made a decision that we were going to drive from LA up to San Jose and pay our respects. And of course, during that time, Apollonia and Jill had been in contact with each other, and Apollonia was thinking about flying up because she wanted to attend as well. And Jill said, "Why don't you just go with me and my friend Seth?"
Right.
And Apollonia was like, "Ooh, that's a long drive. I don't know. I think I'd rather just jump
Right.
on a plane and go." And Jill said, "No, just come on. You'll have fun." And Apollonia said, "Okay, I'll do it." And the funny thing was, um, I went and picked Apollonia up first because she was she was closer than Jill was. And by the time we got to Jill, it was like me and her had been friends for years.
Wow. Yeah.
It was just that instant connection.
Yeah.
And we've been inseparable ever since. I just saw her last night. We just had
Okay.
dinner last
That's
night.
right. I got the same birthday as her. Not the same year, but
Oh,
the same date. Yeah. So,
August 2nd.
yeah, August 2nd always comes up
Okay.
like
And
that.
then my
Yeah.
birthday is June 5th.
Oh,
So I'm
June
two
5th.
days before Prince.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And you were
So,
able to,
that Gemini Leo thing is
yeah,
tight.
there you go. Yeah. Going up there and you were able to see, Prince on the piano microphone tour, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has spies everywhere. So
Yeah.
he had gotten wind that Apollonia, Susan, Brenda, and Jill were together at Denise's memorial. And he had announced, like right after they had planned her memorial, which originally was supposed to be an open event, like a few days later, he announced a piano and a microphone in Oakland, which was
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah.
45 minutes away from San Jose.
Right.
So, of course, everybody thought he's going to be at her service. So it went from an open event to a closed event very fast.
Okay. Oh, he was
Yeah,
there? Okay.
no, he wasn't. But
Right.
people
Okay.
had the assumption that he was going
Oh,
to be
okay.
there when this piano and the microphone popped up the day
Right.
after
Uh, yeah.
her
Yeah.
memorial.
Right.
And so, and I mean, he may have planned to come and, uh, but yeah, so he had gotten word that the girls were there, and him and Apollonia had maintained a friendship all through the decades. So and she had just seen him in 2014 because he had invited her to Paisley Park for the 30th anniversary of Purple Rain.
That's right. Yeah.
And him and Third Eye Girl did a whole concert just for her.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
She
his
was on the
gift.
side of the stage, right? Or
Yes,
the lip of the stage. Yeah.
yes. Excuse me. And so yeah, he had gotten wind she was there, and her phone rang, and it was his manager, and said, "Hey, Prince knows that you girls are there, and he would really love to see you. He's performing tomorrow." And you know, and because our plan was we were just going to go to the service, spend that one night, and then come back to LA. And Apollonia got the call the day of the show, the day we were supposed to leave, and she said, "Hey guys, what do you think? Do you want to stay?" And we said, "Yeah, we'll stay." Brenda was the only one that left. She had another engagement, but myself, Jill, Apollonia, Susan,
Jamie
we
Shoup, right?
stayed.
Yeah.
Jamie
Yeah.
Sheep
I
was
saw the
was
picture. Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and we all stayed, and we all went to the show. And then he was having a little private. Well, he was having an after party, but he had a little private section, maybe about 20 people that were like up in this balcony in San Francisco at
Right.
Folsom. And the manager came, but it was so funny because maybe an hour after Apollonia said we're coming,
Uh huh.
he posted on his Twitter
Oh, okay.
this the marquee of the Paramount, and it said, "Welcome Apples,
Wow.
JJ, Jill, Vashti was what she called Susan, and
Okay.
BB for Brent." I mean, it was like once they said they were coming, He
Wow.
put it out there that they were coming,
And
and
he, yeah,
it
you go
was
ahead.
it was a beautiful, sad, because of course it was because we had just said farewell to Denise. He did a lot of song, some beautiful songs for her. He sang the beautiful ones for her. He sang Little Red Corvette for her. He sang a song that was later, that he did later, that he changed the words to, I
Okay.
think. I think is it I Hate You?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
he
they
he
said it
did.
was originally for somebody else. Was it Carmen Electra or something?
It might have been for
Yeah,
Carmen Electra,
yeah,
but he had, he was a lot of the lyrics were like, we were in love in the good old days. You were my favorite protege, and such and
yeah,
such and such and such and so. And then after he got done, he said, "And now she's gone." And when he said that, our whole row just started sobbing. So he was going through it, losing her, because I think, many of the that organization believed that, she was really one of the loves of his life, like, you know. And so he was hurting that trip, and I think it really made him happy to see the girls, to see Jill, because I think he hadn't seen Jill in like 15 or 20 years.
yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So, to see Jill and to see Susan and to see Susan's sister, who was originally a member of the Hookers, who he hadn't
Right.
seen
That's
since the
right.
80s.
Right.
He hadn't seen her since the 80s. And it was like, it was, so I think he needed that at that time in his, that particular time.
And he was going through his. We later found through his own turmoil. So yeah,
Yes. Yeah. And,
tough.
and, what was very interesting, Joe, is that the girls knew something was going on,
But yeah, by
because that
just
was the
seeing him, right?
topic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the topic of the conversation coming back.
Right.
Was they knew something was going on, and they had made plans. Apollonia told him, we're going to just all come to Paisley Park. We're just going to show up, and we're just going to come and take care of you for a while, because they could feel that something wasn't right.
Yeah.
And Jill, who had been, as romantic with him for close to a decade.
Right.
She's like, his mojo's gone. Something's gone. And
Yeah.
so, for women that had known him for 30 years and
Right.
better,
Yeah.
they knew something wasn't right.
Yeah. You look at the Welcome to America, the 2011, I think it was, has
Hmm.
good physical shape as,
Yep.
every, till you could see looking back at the picture and you saw her in person. Yeah, there definitely was a fast transformation like that. That's
I
sad.
was
Yeah.
I was startled. It was the first time I'd ever met him in person outside of 1980.
Right.
And I have to say that when I saw him, I was startled. It startled me, because you just have this kind of thing in your head, and he was always a small guy,
Right.
but this was different, and it took me off guard. I was startled, but I will always be thankful that I was able to shake his hand, tell him I was Mallia Franklin's son, which
Right.
like shocked him, and he loved it.
Right.
And just be able to spend that time, because I'm going to tell you, most of that VIP time, he sat right on that couch with
Mm.
me, Apollonia, Jill, and Susan. And so it was beautiful. Them showing, Jill and Susan showing him pictures on their phone of their kids and stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like, I'm forever thankful that I was allowed to witness that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely meant to be. Yeah. And unfortunately, well, we all know the story. He was that close to getting help and didn't get the help. So
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah. It was quite an unbelievable situation. And I think, crazy enough, it was a situation that I think probably made me and Apollonia closer, because I mean it happened 2.5 months after we met,
Right. Yeah.
and we were in the thick of it. So, it was like, I think that unfortunately, through that tragedy, starting with Denise, because Apollonia, she took Denise's passing very hard as well.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people and a lot of, people on the internet, just want to believe that Apollonia and Vanity were mortal enemies, you know, but they actually had a lot of respect for each other and had spent some one-on-one time with each other. I think their relationship got complicated when, Denise really got hard into the drug
Yeah.
situation.
Right.
That's when their relationship became, I think, uh, uh, a little hard. But I mean, they had gone out to dinner together. There was a mutual respect between the two of them. It wasn't like that they were always at each other's throats. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I mean, and Vanity, as Apollonia says, she felt this connection. It was like this trinity, because it was like Vanity and it was Apollonia and then Prince up at the top. So when Vanity died, Apollonia took that really hard, and she said she felt like a piece of herself had died when
Yeah.
Denise died. A piece of her identity had died
Right. Right.
with it, because the Apollonia identity was so closely meshed to the Vanity identity.